I was at a school dance today. I didn't get a single girl snap. I didn't get a girl snap for one reason, and one reason only. I was just wondering why I didn't ask them for their house parties. What was Houseparty? Houseparty was a social networking app. Unlike any other, it was a video chat app. You're probably wondering, why didn't you just use FaceTime? Because Houseparty was a vibe. Houseparty was a certified vibe. You have games. You could join other people's rooms. All this stuff on this random app. So Houseparty was developed by a company called Life on Air. It was founded and the CEO was Ben Rubin. So they started out by making an app called Meerkat, which was a mobile live streaming service, vertical video, which was quite popular, but it eventually fell apart as, Facebook and Instagram Live, all of these other websites started incorporating live things. So they decided to shut it down in 2016, and they started developing a new app, and that app would come to be Houseparty. So it was released to the App Store and Play Store in February 2016, but it was under a pseudonym. They used a fake name for the app, and they just let it garner critical mass. And then after 10 months of development and building a community, and more than 1 million users later, Houseparty was officially released with this weird cup icon instead of the classic wave. And it was officially released as Houseparty. Let's talk about what Houseparty had. It wasn't your mommy's video chat app. It wasn't just private. It bred a community feeling. It had a community. It always had a community aspect to it, because number one, unless you hovered over the app icon and hit sneak into the house, it would notify everyone. Everyone who was your friend would be notified. This person has just logged on to Houseparty, and then you would either lock your house, which was your personal room, or people could just join whenever they wanted, and you could have meaningful conversation with people, or you could play Uno. I liked Uno. Now I've learned through the grapevine that Houseparty had a loyal fan base in the mid 2010s, so 2016, 2017. But I was 7, so I'm not going to talk about that. I'm sure there was. What I want to talk about was quarantine. Yep. So in late 2019, after the app had been out for a couple years, it was announced that Houseparty was being acquired by Epic Games, creators of Fortnite. Not much would come of this, actually, for quite a while. Something big would come of this in just a few months. A world like pandemic, where everyone's online and talking to each other through cameras. Did Houseparty start the pandemic? I'm not saying no. This was when I started using Houseparty. I remember my friend telling me to download Houseparty instead of just doing a boring FaceTime, and he had me join a bunch of his friends from his school. It was an experience, a total experience. I played a lot of Fortnite with it. I remember, Chapter 2, Season 2, the Spy Season, absolute fire. Total nostalgia for that. And then later in 2020, this would be the start of the Fortnite collabs. They launched Fortnite mode. Where you could connect your phone to your console or PC, and you would have your friends' screens and images on the side of your screen while you were playing Fortnite. So it would just connect automatically. As for what I know, nobody used it. I've never met a single person who's ever admitted to using the Houseparty Fortnite mode. But, I mean, you got a free wrap out of it. You got a free weapon wrap out of it, so that was fun. Also, something that happened in 2020, they did a concert series for some reason with Neil Patrick Harris and Terry Crews and Alicia Keys and Zooey Deschanel. I don't even know why. It was called In the House. I mean, it makes sense, I guess. You know, live video and being in the house party. So this begs the question, how are they making money off all this? How is Epic Games getting that sweet, sweet ROI that they deserved? Well, that's a good question. We know that they didn't run ads. I'm not going to say that they didn't sell your data. I mean, Epic Games is partly owned by Tencent, but the real way that they, on the surface level, sold you, made money, was they sold you games. So, as I said before, there were lots of games. You know, there was Uno, I don't know, like game pitching games. You know, there were like game pitching games, and sometimes there would be branded ones like Heads Up, Uno, and sometimes there would be ones that costed money. So obviously for the branded ones, they would pay to have their app featured on Houseparty that you could collaborate with them on. And for the other ones, they just charged you for them and made money. Nobody bought them though. I don't see why anyone would buy those. So I doubt that Houseparty made much money, which probably explains its death. In September 2021, Epic Games made the announcement that Houseparty would be shutting down. The app was pulled from app stores immediately after the announcement, and a month later, all support ended completely for the app. I think that the ending of Houseparty was almost poetic. It represented the end of true quarantine to me. Obviously, after 2021, COVID still exists, but it doesn't. I can't name a real like online school, Fortnite, FaceTime, Discord, Minecraft servers, Stream SMP, any of that stuff. I can't name any of that happened after September 2021. And it was and it really just, spelled the end of the pandemic. As if I had to guess, I think that Houseparty, over the course of 2020 and 2021, went through the most profitable years that, had it continued, would ever experience. And they probably still did not make much money, if they even profited at all. And I think Epic Games realized that, and they were like, we can't keep this up for any longer. So they decided to pull the plug. Like, not even joking, Houseparty was a really fun app. If you never got to experience it, I feel bad for you. But what effects did Houseparty have on our world today? Nothing. It didn't cause the fall of Houseparty did not cause the Russo-Ukrainian war. But the effects that it had on the internet were not none. For example, after Houseparty was after Houseparty died, Discord introduced activities, which were games that you could play with your friends, like mini golf, or chess, or checkers, poker, Uno.
That was so boring.
And also, almost immediately after Houseparty was discontinued, Apple released SharePlay for FaceTime. So you could share your screen or whatever you're watching with your friends who you were on a group call with, and watch that together in a house as a party. This might be a stretch, but was the introduction of group FaceTime an effect of Houseparty? I mean, it was released well after Houseparty came out, and I mean, the popularity of Houseparty was not zero before the pandemic ended, before the pandemic started. I think that even if it's not the direct cause that Apple cites for putting group FaceTimes on, I think that it is definitely a something that did lead up to it. I think that it was certainly a precursor, and it showed a demonstrated need. I'm gonna leave you with this. Houseparty was a lot of things. It was a perfect demonstration of the internet at the time. It was an archive of how we used to act. It was a place for self-expression. It was a place for meeting new people. But if I were to encapsulate it in 4 words, Houseparty was a vibe. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.